free zones subject to UAE corporate tax? 2 seconds and we go straight into the answer. Hello everyone, my name is Maria Rubert, lawyer and arbitrator with a base in Dubai, UAE for the past almost 15 years. I'm very happy to be addressing today a question that I'm getting from every single angle. Are free zones subject to UAE corporate tax? As we all know, the UAE announced early in 2022 that UAE corporate tax will be coming into place. Without much details, we all started to try to guess how it will be, which country that will be modeled on. In October 2022, we finally got the UAE corporate tax law under Federal Law 47 of 2022. And the most common question today, for those who didn't get to read the law, I do invite you to do that. In one of our recent publications in our website, we provide the link for all of you that are very curious for the small prints. I do invite you to take a look at it. What we are going to be looking at today here is who is going to be subject to corporate law, to UAE corporate law. And also we will be looking at specific references in the law to free zones. So what does the law say about free zones? We will be making a note on the mentions, on the references to natural persons. The law talks about legal persons and natural persons. Legal persons, if you will read the law, when you read legal person, that means a company. When you read natural person, that means a physical person like you and me, yeah? Very good. Then we will be going over the important dates that we need to keep in mind, and we will be making a summary on how corporate tax is going to be calculated. I say summary because we already addressed it in earlier publications. So very good. So who is going to be subject to UAE corporate tax? I'm going to be looking here at the graphic that you will also have in front of you. This graphic tells us who is going to do that. So there are three main questions. First, is the person a legal person incorporated in the UAE? Is the person a legal person that is not incorporated in the UAE but is effectively managed and controlled in the UAE? Or is the person a natural person who is engaged in a business in the UAE? Yeah. So if the answer is yes to any one of these, then we step into the exempt persons. So we will see in the list, and we have in front of us government. We also have charity. We also have investment funds. We also have businesses that are engaged in the extraction and exploitation of UAE natural resources. So if we answer yes again here, we will go directly to no. No, these persons will not be subject to UAE corporate tax. If we answer no to any of these, it means that we first answered yes, and now we are answering no, so it means that no exemption, so we will be subject to UAE corporate tax. Yeah? There is another way. If we initially answer no to the first questions, to the three questions that we asked, a legal person incorporated or not incorporated, but is effectively managed and controlled in the UAE, or is a natural person who is engaged in business in the UAE, we answer no. Then we have another question that is, does this person have a permanent establishment in the UAE? If we answer yes, then we are subject to UAE corporate tax. If the answer is no, we have one more question, and the question is, does this person earn UAE based or source income? And if the answer is yes, then we will be subject to UAE. The answer is no, we will not be subject to UAE corporate tax. So I hope this graphic is of help. Now I pretend to jump straight into the references in the law to free zones. And what is clear by reading the law, is that free zones are within the scope of the UAE corporate tax law and subject to tax return filings. Yes? However, the UAE and the law recognize that they will honor the tax incentives of free zones. Most free zones in their constitution documents and body of documents, they undertake to be an area of free taxes for a number of years. That will be respected. That is going to be respected if and when the companies are substance in the UAE, yes, and comply with applicable regulations. Remember that now is a mix of a gray area, because even companies set up in free zones can get an import code and they can import into the UAE, etc. But when they were created, free zones were created, the rule was and continues, and now we are reminded of that, is that free zones cannot do business in mainland. So in order to comply with applicable regulations, you don't have to do business with UAE. We're gonna look now, because we're gonna talk about qualifying income and non-qualifying income. So what is that qualifying income? Qualifying income for these conditions that we're talking about, yeah? So even if you have income coming from UAE mainland, but it's passive, yeah, rents, royalties, dividends, capital gains from shares of shares of companies in the UAE, that's gonna be qualifying income, yeah, so zero, you will pay zero from this. Then also transactions between free zones and the group companies in the UAE will bear a 0% corporate tax, but, and watch out, payments made to free zone entities by an entity of the group in mainland will not be a deductible expense. It will be very simple. You set up a free zone, you have the mainland, and then you just, send money to the free zone and you pay nothing. No, so it will not be deductible. Yeah. So pretty much what it means is that it's going to avoid the double taxation, but the company in mainland is going to pay. Yeah. Very good. Then, very important. Proceeds of goods to UAE mainland businesses from free zones, when the UAE mainland business is the one that does the importing, are going to be qualifying. So that means zero. Yes. And then the zero, of course, and this is very evident when we comply with the regulations. We are substance in the free zone and we comply with the regulations. That means that all or income coming from other free zones or income coming from companies or individuals based in other countries, we are going to pay zero. Now, watch out. Then we need to talk about non-qualifying income. And non-qualifying income is any other income, yes, coming from mainland, yes, will disqualify a free zone from the 0% regime in respect of all of their income. Yeah, so this is very important. So the regulations are back. They have always been there, but there has been a huge gray, but now there is a huge red line. We cannot do business with mainland if we want to continue benefiting from the qualifying income and from the 0% regime. And I also would like to talk a little bit, and going back to that graphic that we saw at the beginning, it talks about natural persons, about individuals. Yeah, so individuals that are engaged in business in the UAE will be subject, yes, to UAE corporate tax. Yes, what kind of business do they have to do? Business that should be licensed through a free zone or through a mainland activity. Yeah, there are little, because this gives rise to criminal liability. If you do business in the UAE without appropriate license, this is criminal liability. Yes, you don't have a license, you don't have, but you send invoice to clients in your personal bank, and the proceeds come into your personal bank account. This usually there are no big issues. The UAE does not look for issues with their residents, but usually my experience, when a competitor finds out, they usually think, well, I'm maintaining my license, I'm maintaining my accountants, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and this person is just billing out of a personal bank account. So I've seen some issues with this. Now on top of things, because now everyone, companies now have stricter requirements in terms of accounting, etc. Well, be very careful if you are one of those, because if you are raising invoices to people in the UAE and to companies in the UAE out of your personal name, this may be an issue. Yeah, not only criminal, but criminal, leave it on the side. Someone would need to go after you. But tax-wise, yes, because you will be taken away from the UAE, so this may be an issue moving forward. Yeah. Also, many commentators of the law, they think about influencers, about media icons, people that live out of YouTube and who don't have a license. What's going to happen? But those people, chances are that are going to fall within this group of natural persons that will be subject to UAE corporate tax. Yeah, very good. Important as well to remind UAE residents that their employment income is not going to be, because it talks about natural persons. It's important that we stress that employment income is not going to be subject to corporate tax, and also other personal income that we may have, like dividends, rental receipts from UAE real estate investments, even if those investments are held through a private or family trust held on behalf of people, of beneficiaries. Yeah, so this is not going to be subject to UAE corporate tax. So the personal income is still protected in the UAE, as the number of global entrepreneurs is very, very high. So we hope that this will be maintained for a while at least. Very good. And now, which dates are important? We're going to be talking about 3 dates, pretty much. If your financial year ends on the 30th of June 2023, immediately your next date is 31st of March 2025, when you will need to make payment of your first tax period that will go from the 1st of July 2023 to the 30th of June 2024. If your financial year ends on the 31st of December 2023, then you want to think about the 30th of September 2025 for your first tax period, 1st January 2024, 31st December 2024. And lastly, if your financial year ends on the 31st of March 2024, you need to think about 31st of December 2025 for your first tax period, 1st of April 2024 to 31st of March 2025. So you can expect with all of this that free zones, as free zones are subject to tax filings, that all free zone companies will need to register for corporate tax. Yeah, even if you are compliant and you don't do any dealings with UAE mainland, you will need to register. Not only that, whenever your company closes down, you will need to deregister. Very good. Lastly, accounting, very important. Bookkeeping obligations are going to be strengthened, because it's a mechanism to verify that free zone entities, their income, the qualifying, non-qualifying, etc. So ensure that you have people of trust handling your accounting. Now, lastly, and this is a reminder, because there is already one video that talks about this, about how is it going to be calculated. We need to think about one figure here, which is 375,000 dirhams. Yes, so final taxable income between 0 and 375 is going to be taxed at 0%. Yeah, final taxable income that exceeds 375, yes, will be taxed at 9%. So if you have final taxable income of 1 million, you will deduct the 375, will give you 625,000. Then you have to apply the 9%. And that's how you calculate it. I hope that this video is being helpful to you in answering the big question about whether free zones are subject to UAE corporate tax. If you have learned a little bit, please do like the video, subscribe to get new information as soon as it is out. Follow me in social media, just in case you miss the post. I will remind you of my new information. And of course, if you have general questions, please send them across. I will be very happy to address them so that others in your position and questioning the same question that you are facing can benefit. Thank you so much.